So we know that when it comes to this Kansas City Chiefs team, there is a lot of things that has to be discussed. Now, when it comes to the wide receiver core, we all know how, even though they've been getting binged up, that's things that happens in training camp. I mean, Nico Remigio, I think he dislocated his shoulder. That's pretty bad. But for the most part, we know that this Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver core has a lot of potential. And Justin Ross, when we thought he was hurt, he actually wasn't. Well, he was, but it was minor because he was in the front court. Everybody know he'll be okay. Came back to practice the next day, and he absolutely showed out today. He did very good in practice. He had a nice grab, and he's back, and he's doing what he's supposed to do. But when we say the Chiefs try to warn us about this, I'm talking about last season. So last season, we see what the Kansas City Chiefs did when they lost Tyreek Hill. They improved their defense, and they also did very good with this wide receiver core that didn't have too much big names. I mean, Juju was the biggest name in that wide receiver core. And obviously, Kels at tight end, right, who's the biggest name and the best tight end in the NFL. So they're trying to warn us that the Chiefs don't need a star wide receiver because they're going to make something out of one of these wide receivers, right? And my candidate for that, y'all already know who it is, Justin Ross. That's obviously my candidate for that. But the Chiefs are warning us that as long as they have Mahomes, Kels, and Reed, that they're going to be a good team. Because when you take a look at the defense, I understand they had a bad outing against the New Orleans Saints, but things happen. I don't expect them to be God every time they play. Things happens. Preseason, first game back, you got to cut them some slack. Saturday, they'll play against the Arizona Cardinals, so we're going to see what they do that day. And that's going to give me more of an idea of, okay, I'm not going to go too hard on them because of a preseason game. But the defense, I like it because the secondary is nice. I mean, even the D linemen are very effective. Chris Jones is just holding out right now with this contract mess. But once that gets resolved, then this defense is going to be right back to normal. I mean, obviously, if we had Chris Jones playing that game, we would have won. But it's preseason, not everybody's going to be playing. A lot of people was hard on McDuffie. Like I said, he's going to show out in the regular season. Don't get too crazy. Justin Ross, it was good to see what he did. First game back in 2 years. I don't understand how hard that is to come back on a football field in front of all them fans in 2+ years. And that's exactly what he did. As you can see, he did very good. And I think that Justin Ross is going to be a UDFA story. He's going to be one of the best UDFAs of all time. And then you got Rashee Rice, who is another good player that uses his body well, that it can make a lot of moves for us this season. You got Sky Moore. Hopefully we can somehow find a way to keep Nico around, and hopefully he get back healthy. You still got the veterans like Justin Watson and MVS. I mean, all of them can't make the roster, but at least seven wide receivers are projected to make the roster this year. And Travis Kelce is going to still be Kelce. Mahomes is obviously still going to be Mahomes. And what I'm saying is you can't really discredit the Chiefs wide receiver core right now because Richie Jeans even did good in preseason. But I think Justin Ross is honestly a roster lock at this point. He's earned his spot. I like the linebackers as well on the Chiefs. Nick Bolton, Drew Tranquill. I seen what Drew was doing in the preseason. It was pretty nice to watch. Jamari Connor is a safety, but he had a very good linebacker type of play. Leo Chenal, Willie Gay. So the Chiefs defense is going to be 100% fine. You already know how that goes. Starting off bad and then end up becoming a top defense in the league. It happens every single year. I know it's tiring, but we all know that's how it goes for the Kansas City Chiefs. But the offense always starts off well, and I do expect the offense to come out hot against the Detroit Lions for the Thursday night game opener, season opener. I think that they'll come out hot against the Lions, and I really think Reed and Mahomes is liking Justin Ross, and they might actually put him in the rotation more than a lot of people think. And I say this because if someone could play so well, and they haven't been playing in 2 years, then imagine when he gets more involved in the system, picks up more chemistry with Patrick Mahomes. He's going to be a serious problem. And he's just displaying what we need. He's displaying it. A big body wide receiver with a great catch radius. That's Mahomes' dream, man. Mahomes, Because y'all got to look at what the Chiefs tried. They tried to get Josh Gordon before. Come on, bro. You trying to Come on, who signs Josh Gordon? They wanted a receiver like this, but obviously Josh Gordon wasn't an answer. So now that we got Justin Ross, he's looking like the answer. But yeah, another thing about this Chiefs team is their rushing attack. I mean, McKinnon, Pacheco, CEH, got the Nerrick. I mean, that's very good right there. That's a good rushing attack right there. Tight end room is solid. Chiefs is good all over, you know. It's good all over. Obviously, every team in the NFL have things that they need to deal with. Every team in the NFL has that. Things that they need to deal with, weaknesses that they need to address. But the Kansas City Chiefs don't have too many of those. And with the coaching and the history of how the team is, I could see them going right back to the Super Bowl. And as a Chiefs fan, am I going to say we're going to lose? Hell no. We could face the undefeated team. I'm never saying we're going to lose because that's the confidence I have in my team. I'm not going to ever... A lot of Chiefs fans was actually crazy saying they're going to lose to the Eagles. Whole time, I was there saying, first of all, we're not losing to the Philadelphia Eagles. And the reason why I said that is because it just doesn't sound right. It doesn't sound possible. Like... Don't get me wrong, when we went to half, I was mad. I'm like, why are we losing like this? But I knew we was going to pull it together. Everybody was like, oh, my God, Chiefs lost. Nah, we're not that type of team. We're a comeback team. Every Chiefs fan know that we going to fight when we down behind. Trust me. We don't just sit there and get blown out like that. That barely happens. But, yeah, man, the Chiefs just tried to warn. Last season was a warning. Even though we won the Super Bowl, last season was a warning. And now I feel like this year we're going to really show them what we are because having all these young, talented wide receivers with Mahomes, it's like Mahomes is like a mad scientist just cooking up, you know, like a mad scientist cooking up. And you giving him all the ingredients he needs to cook up with all these young wide receivers, a good rushing core, a top offensive line, a supportive defense. You're giving Mahomes the recipe that he needs to take this team to the Super Bowl. Andy Reid is like a genius when it comes to scheming up plays. And you're giving him all these different type of players that could do different things. Andy Reid's going to have a field day. I mean, I didn't agree with that preseason call he made. But, bro, you think Andy Reid cares about the preseason? I promise you Andy Reid don't give one damn about the preseason. I mean, he does, but not as much as y'all think. Because trust, when he needs to bring out them plays in the regular season, Andy Reid is going to bring out them plays in the regular season. And that goes to show you how good of a coach he is, how competitive he is. And that shows you that if Andy Reid is your play caller, you're going to do good. You're going to be a good team. And we know he's even had top offenses with the Philadelphia Eagles when he was the coach. So Reid is going to always generate a top offense, but the combination was Mahomes mixed with Reid, and that's what took his career to the next level, and that's why he's winning so much Super Bowls now. And he's not stopping. It's more to come. So Chiefs fans, put on your seatbelts. We in for a long ride. I'm telling y'all, we in for a long ride. It's been your boy Chiefs Priority, and I'm out. Peace.